really were able to find those hits, get Dan especially on those platforms to convert off of those Pikachu back airs, off of those throws into things like up smash, up air, just find really cheeky stocks very early. And once they controlled that space, once they found one team combo, it felt like Beast and Yellow kind of got caught out of sync off the Angel platform and were never able to recover. The key to beating this team is unequivocally your ability to disrupt their team combos. Can we do it here, or again, is it gonna be Pharaoh and Steffen just tearing this one down?
Yeah, no, this is the thing here. This is a run back. This is the grudge match set, as we're gonna see in the middle off kind of happening here, going up. I really want to see like how close is it gonna be this time. I'm like super scared.
And this stage pick, very interesting. It's very good for Steve, but also for Pikachu. DK can thrive here, but can sometimes struggle to land. Yoshi has to opt for very non-traditional strings here, and I mean, again, right, Steve just is Steve. So, on the tier list, right, Team Green very much winning this set. Team Yellow, a little disadvantage, but it's doubles, anything can happen, and the real X factor, again, is the synergy, the ability to find those spikes. And Joepwn, that was another thing, right? Joepwn has done such a good job finding those weak hit up airs, right, to save Dan, to allow that DK to actually have a good recovery, Snivy? What?
Yeah, no, that's part of the sad part about DK, but one of the best things is those moves, those buttons, they're so strong. It's definitely one to behold, and oh my god.
And Dan almost losing his stock, right? Trying to land on that block, but it disappeared at the perfect moment. Still managed to find a route back, though, and now we're just trying to help Joe get out of dodge. Instead, they're getting both put in disadvantage, still stuck in the corner against Pharaoh, but gonna still find the advantage state. That being said, in center stage, and Snivy, they have one more chance. The team combos again cooking.
Yeah, exactly. When you gotta throw yourself in disadvantage like that to save your homie, to save your friend, this is two. This is how you make the magic happen. And right now, Joe looking to just combo off as well. And Dan wasn't quite necessarily in the situation to kind of capitalize it, but oh no. Yeah.
And that was an Iron F smash, right? It still took the stock. The second one just a shield break. Not too much you can do about those, right? Yoshi gonna put out that damage 7 days a week, trying to find this edge guard in disadvantage. Joepwn not able to help Dan quite get away from this scary little dinosaur. And it's gonna be Steffen Steve, right, covering him at the perfect moment to find the stall.
Especially with those diamonds. Diamonds are Steve's best friend, but right
diamonds
now,
are forever, I'm telling you, man.
Diamonds are definitely forever. See, back air up once again, is trying to trap with the down smash as well. Joe just trying to get Steven off of him. There you go. The anvil not quite working out how Steffen wanted, and creating a very positive situation for the yellow team over here.
Absolutely. The minecart could have been huge, but Joe again, right, disrupting, allowing you to avoid that spike, and DK to find the way back to stage. Both stuck in the corner, though. Ooh. How do you find stage control back? The answer is a dash attack, right? You just got to get the headbutt in, Snivy. And now the stock shares have come out. Steffen at 95%. You've got one apiece on Team Yellow. This is winnable, but how do you close this out? You need to find the cheese on this DK here early.
This is definitely kind of an even game here, especially when you have the Steve and the diamonds unlocked. You already know the damage multiplier goes dummy stupid. But right now, Steven just trying to build that wall so high, get those resources on up, as Joe kind of just taking things and controlling things with the T-Jaw, just trying to get this neutral kind of going on and force these two apart once again. And oh, there we go, diamond back here, but it did not work.
And just like that, right, they're bringing it all the way back. The monkey punch from Dan kind of just, he got stuck in the corner, and I love the idea to get out. That being said, right, this is Donkey Kong. Both these characters at kill percent. If he takes one, he can take the other, somehow finding his way around the anvil setup. This is his opportunity.
Oh,
the missed tech is going to be it, but the drag down air from Pharaoh, are you kidding me?
That was really smart.
Dude, and the thing is, too, if he hits that last hit of the down air, you go up. You get popped up. So he dragged him down perfectly, right? DK's a big body. It's hard for him to fall out, but just the positioning was perfect.
Yeah, and that's one of the things when you're like a character specialist such as that. No secondaries, just a solo Yoshi putting in the work. We already seen Pharaoh cooking lots of things on Twitter, divulging in a lot of Yoshi tech, and you can see it a lot in his gameplay as well. And the mastery to have control of like your spacing, your aerials, and that counter like that pays off in dividends.
It pays off immensely, and I'm just gonna say it too, right? The Yoshi the character of Tri-State. There are so many top-level Yoshi players
in
Jersey, in New York, right? You've got Miles, Suarez, Pharaoh. I'm forgetting like 3 of them.
Tab Soda, PC Ninja.
Yes.
The list goes on and on.
And they're all really good. They all get a share tech. It's one of those things that lets you push your character's meta faster, right? The fact that you're always around, always playing others. We're going back to FD here, right where it all started in the set, and I like this for yellow team, right? Just trying to take away those platforms, try and find that space, give Pikachu just a little extra benefit, and say, we don't really care about these larger platforms, because guess what? We've still got a Monkey Punch on our back pocket.
Exactly. This is a dangerous Monkey controlling this neutral right now, and this is the thing. Joe goes in, locks it down, and Dan kind of just comes in there and scoops it. There's the back throw, setting up once again, not quite finding the kill and trying to steal it up with the Thunder, but Steven jumping in the mix, trying to tie it up with the good old back here.
And that side beat from Dan as well, right? Using that monkey headbutt to find his way back to stage. Down are not going to do it just barely, and they are doing a fantastic job somehow finding ways to survive. I love the attempt at the team edge guard from Steven and Pharaoh. Didn't find it on Dan, but still found the stock on Joe and Snivy. This is really their opportunity to open things up. Whoever takes this next stock, I think, is going to be in a fantastic position for the game.
Yeah, Joe trying to go high, just trying to get Steven as well. But Steve coming out, building those combos with the good old tools. So fast, by the way, just to get that damage on up and continuing that turn as well as Pharaoh capitalizes on the interaction and is putting in that work.
Oh, and the gold mining, right? Got so much pressure off those up tilts. Found that fast diamond, mined into it, and then immediately found the swap. Now the tech off the block as well. Steven using this character's kit to its fullest right now, living like nobody's business, just abusing the fact that diamond back air kills you at ridiculous percents. But you know what else kills you?
That's a DK back air.
That's
a DK back air for
that
you.
Foot to your face, baby.
That always kills in tandem as well. And you can see Joe trying to take a back air of his own and trying to put in the work. Dan capitalizing on that, but this might be a very scary situation for him to escape because you're kind of up against Steve at the ledge. But Joe coming in with the save, saving his good old friend.
Well, he didn't even save. He just got back barely, right? He was putting himself in position, but where he had to recover, he just wouldn't have had it. And somehow Dan found his way back. Joe gonna lose his stock though, and that time the upper not gonna drag down. Gonna send off the top, but DK heavy enough that it's not gonna kill. Dan's route to drift around this Yoshi, even though his air drift is slower, have been so impressive. Unfortunately, Joe putting you all the way back out, just saying, hey, I got this for a second. Give me the stage control, bud.
Yeah, especially, it's that back air that puts in the work. That back air is the whole character. -4, by the way. It's so OD on shield. You can see Dan was kind of just throwing it around so much, but, you know, paying a little too much for his troubles. That's going to be a stock for him there.
Yep, and if you're the yellow team right now, you're trying to isolate this 2v1 on Pharaoh, right? Force that last stock switch out. Get Steffen at a high percent and let him go. Oh, that being said, you'll take any stock you can get, right? Because with 3 on the table, well, if they take that stock switch, you might be able to use that respawn time to create that 2v1 and really lock down the permanence. That's their opportunity now, Snivy. Not the ideal situation, but still a good one. And the shield break could have been it, but that's the benefit of doubles. You can just hit your opponent out of it for free.
Coming in with the save as well. This is quite the even game we have here, especially with that
explosive range. That's gonna be it!
That Dan has the side B putting in that work, and now it's just the lonely Steven. But we already know what this character is capable of. But we see, again, what these two can do.
Absolutely. These up airs just racking on some damage, right? This is the Joe and Dan show. All the space in the world. No platforms to disrupt these Steve combos except for, or the team combos, except for the ones that Steve builds himself, right? That terrain and ever-present threat. Trying to set up a wall right now just to tech, but unfortunately you lasted too long. That wood's gone now. No more iron in the block, just using that TNT to stall. You don't see Steve do that in disadvantage enough. But even still, it's so hard to get away when these two characters are so good at edge guarding. The spikes, the T-jolts, right? Like between these characters, there's what, 6 spikes? And it's just,
there's a lot of spikes.
You can't get away.
There's definitely a lot of spikes there.
Yeah.
Thunder spike down there. The list goes on. The list goes on and on. Honestly, seeing this double save, it's like I feel like I'm just watching Melee. I'm not even watching Ultimate.
Yeah, you're just like, they're just juggling back and forth, right? I literally feel like I'm at a circus watching the clown, right? Juggle the balls, juggle the knives, juggle the flaming Molotovs, right? Whatever it is, it's just they are keeping their opponents in hit stun for ridiculous periods of time.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, Pikachu is kind of like the master of the show. The monkey's in the back. He's like, all right, I'll come in, do the heavy lifting. I'm really impressed at how, like, Joe is maintaining his role as like the stock tank and like the occasional of like, I'm the top tier, so I have the buttons to kind of break up situations, set up as well, and Dan plays off them so well.
Yeah, no, Joe is playing support fantastically, right? He's finding the damage, finding the chips, finding the setup. DK playing that kind of tank striker role, right? Just being able to live for really high percents and close out stocks really early, right? Really abuse the advantage states of both these characters as well. Means that even if you don't find your team combos, right, which is really where they made their bread and butter, both DK and Pikachu are very efficient at keeping you at ledge, at edge guarding you, and that individual X factor on top of the team play has really been their difference maker so far.
I see there is no change here, no change of characters, no change of stage. The game is still playing out how it is right now, and you can see them just getting split apart right at the beginning as well, locking each other down in the stage. And, you know, it looks like Pharaoh this time around is kind of just putting in the work here.
Absolutely. Watch on this left side, though. There's Pharaoh getting this whole bunch of percent, racking up the damage on Dan, finishing up with F-Smash. And on the other side, Steffen did a fantastic job of blocking off that Pikachu recovery with the wall. Vite said, I see no ledge. I only see dirt. You're going to head to the bottom blast zone. And just like that, this is a dominant lead from Steffen and Pharaoh going into this second stop.
It's like Spider-Man 3. He's like, you got some dirt in your eye. He just throws it on and just
But you know who else had some dirt in his eye there? Steven, because he didn't see that monkey punch coming from above, dunking him down into the blast zone, Snivy, and just like that, they got one on the board. Pharaoh's at 100. They could even this one up just like that. But they need to find these hits first. They need to keep stage control going. And really, it's been Steven who's done such a good job at displacing their setups this game in its entirety. That being said, right, Yoshi floating. Once you get that rid of that double jump armor, closing it out very quickly.
Like you said, it's been Steven who's kind of just been shoving them around, saying where to go and whatnot, and just taking stocks almost like off of everything. And Pharaoh kind of just in the support role here at the moment, but hold up the drag down, trying to get Dan and to take the stock as well. Still suspended in the air right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, right, even as good as DK is off stage, those 2v1 situations, you just can't keep it going because of how bad your own disadvantage state is. It's somehow not closing out the stock, and I just put it together, Snivy, that we're watching Steven the Steve.
Yes, we're watching Steven the Steve. And he's like, it's Steffen! And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I mean, it might be, but, I mean, you're playing Steve, so it's Steven. Sorry.
It is. But okay, trying to get something started here with the Thunder as well, not able to get it. And Steven just locking down Dan in the corner as Dan just tries to just save Joepwn from whatever's going on. But the extension into that back air is definitely going to be a stock for Dan.
Dan finding that stock somehow, right? He wanted to land and reset earlier, but that minecart meant he kind of had to drift off to ledge. He almost missed it. It was, again, a very beautiful defensive play from Steven to its fullest, but that time the minecart, you're gonna do it because it's good, but guess what, Snivy? It doesn't work. Just like that, Dan and Joe have brought this to a last dot game. This is doable, right? These characters got all the cheese in the world, but not if you get ground pounded. Kapring hut you to the next game.
Oh, no.
Donkey Kong out of there.
Yeah, and now it is the solo show of Joepwn right now. This small mouse supposed to take on the big world right here. There's the back here.
Wait,
okay. All right.
If he hadn't got caught by that back or that forward air there, that Thunder would have killed Steffen. He would have just had the 1v1, and Pikachu very capable in that situation. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's not what happened.
Just get out of there.
You got that pickaxe, put it in your head, sent you down south, and Snivy,
let's get right on out of there.
Yep. Unfortunately, the run comes to an end.
I'm so
It's going to be Pharaoh and Steffen coming up on top. But what a run from Joe and Dan. What a run.
Honestly, it's been a real treat. I'm not much of a doubles kind of person, but I walked into the venue, I saw this, and I'm like, okay, I might be a fan now. I think I'm definitely a fan.
Yeah, you gotta be a fan when doubles is as cracked as that. The team combos, the synergy. Nivy, it sounds like we need to bring back our doubles team of H-Box and the Crab. That was our doubles team name. The one event we entered. But, I mean, just the team combos from them were so efficient, but at the end, it was really, I'm just going to say it was Steffen who did a fantastic job utilizing a mixture of blocks and minecart to just find disruption on their setups, disruption on when they attempted to land and chase, right? You saw so many times Dan try and land to reset his jumps as DK to continue that back air chain, to continue those up air juggles.